There lies deep within the human heart an intense desire to know who we are, where we came from. Why am I here? Is there anything beyond this world of hunger and pain? Are there pleasures beyond the next chocolate bar or the next kiss? Is there life beyond the next party, the next cup of tea? Is there any magic left after childhood? Is there any way to recapture the enchantment, the fantasy once again? Children don't ask if they can fly. They just do it. Animals, cats especially, don't ask permission to love you. They just crawl up in your lap and start purring. Pure trust. I have lived several lives upon your planet Earth. The most recent and last culminated in my death in your year of 2012, along with many other souls choosing to exit at that time. It took many incarnations to understand why it was that no matter how many times I fell in love, held my first child, or traveled the globe, the regrets always outweighed the joys, ending with a yearning to go back and fix what I had messed up, convinced I could do it all better the next time. Each return to the physical was met with a new set of problems to solve and circumstances to confront. Therefore, never able to address any previous errors. It took me lifetimes to realize that without any clear memory of any life but this one, how could I fix anything? I wouldn't even remember the mistakes I had made and would probably end up repeating the same things over again. Maybe even adding a few more along the way. The more lives, the more baggage. There is a time for all souls to come home. Home to the awareness that this, the physical incarnation, is a journey, an expedition into the unknown, an adventure into the world of the senses. What it is not is a punishment. There is no one judging your performance, except perhaps yourself. That guilt is the only thing that limits you, that holds you back from advancing. It is with this newly gained wisdom that I come to you now. In a distant galaxy within your universe, there exists a remarkable world, referred to by some as the most beautiful realm in the universe. To describe this plane of existence in human language is extremely difficult because much of the splendor and magnificence comes from the depth of elegance this reality holds within the heart or center of its being. a delightful inner quality of quintessential grace that enchants the senses, making a description very impressionistic. It is a world of color, shades and tones never imagined by any who has not witnessed the wonder of this space. It is nearly impossible to say how long this magical place has existed, because it remains invisible to the eye until a light source shines directly upon it. And this is how the story unfolds. The star system in which this world exists. The central star within this planetary system provides enough light to sustain life on some of the closest orbiting worlds. However, those further from the light source are not considered compatible to most star races, and for this reason, for an unknown span of time, lay uninhabited. Eventually, a race of beings escaping from a disastrous occurrence on their homeworld arrived upon a darkened planet in the orbit furthest from the brightest star. Through the use of underground chambers and dome structures, this peaceful race managed to make this dim planet their home. After eons had passed, the civilization had progressed far enough that they had eventually reached a level of scientific proficiency and technological capacity to become interstellar. As the civilization continued to expand its knowledge, the scientists decided to construct and launch an artificial sun into the outermost shell of the planet's atmosphere, or exosphere as it is called, to warm and illuminate the planet, concluding that this would not only provide more light, but allow them to move to the surface, to encourage better crops, and to permit them to import wildlife from other planets within their solar system and beyond. Fortunately, the new sun proved to be quite successful in providing warmth and light, over time establishing new habitat and encouraging ecosystems that never before existed on this isolated world. As the civilization grew and adapted to this new way of living, many began to explore further the outer reaches of their star system, which brought numerous reports of an anomalous radiance coming from within what should be an empty section of space. As the reports became more frequent, it was decided to send out a scout ship to investigate the detected glow. What they discovered was beyond their belief. An entire dazzling globe of shining colors, as if the whole of the light spectrum had multiplied 1,000 times over in both strength and luminescence. colors and radiance never before seen or imagined. Stories and reports spread throughout the galaxy of a mystical world of light, spiraling, radiant ribbons, rainbows of every color, twisting and looping up through the skies. Several had reported that while observing this non-material world, they would notice shimmering ribbons forming what appeared to be images of landscapes or objects, even life forms, which after a moment or two would dissolve back into the weaving soup of color. It was as if this was creation itself, oscillating, swinging backwards and forwards between waves of potential, yet never settling on one or another. Most reports would also include a remark or two regarding the fact that each time a ship would hover above, bright, colorful beams would shoot out toward the ship as perhaps an attempt at communication, or maybe trying to pull the craft closer. An equally surprising aspect to this place are the sounds it emits. The closer one becomes to the light sphere itself, the louder the sounds become. Most describe these sounds as musical notes and tones, music, an orchestrated symphony, each color holding its own pulsation of resonance, from the deepest of tones to the highest tinkling, powerful bass drumming to the softness of a sigh. In every account of a visitor to this enchanting realm would be a mention of how, while lingering near this colorful radiance, each being would be enveloped in a feeling of complete benevolence, a depth of altruism and blissful compassion, along with intense emotions of love and empathetic concern. 100% of those who traveled to this orb tell of this profound sensation enveloping their senses, many describing it as life-altering and sustaining and awakening. Once word got out about this remarkable world of color, star beings from all over the galaxy began to visit and gather close, some remaining in the area as long as possible, just to absorb the stunning landscape, unparalleled in any known region of space. The more information gathered about the weaving rainbow skies of this colorful realm, the deeper the mystery becomes. One illustration after the other, commentary after commentary, all adding to the intrigue. Some saying the colors are breathing, and this is what creates the movement, in and out. Some say the colors are liquid, like a brilliant sea, and the entire sea is alive. Not one, but infinite lives, pure consciousness. vital, not in form, but in color. And each color resonating a personality, a unique beingness, individual and yet whole, one. Others maintaining that it is a sentient network or conscious, responsive community. Some have come to believe that this is Source itself. The information I have just revealed to you is factual. I leave it to you to decide what it means to each of you. The strongest and most resonant truth within this revelation is the one of purpose and how each and every precious fragment of conscious design, known or unknown, within all of reality, is gathered within this one singular orb of illuminated resolve, pure essence itself, a womb of embryonic life. Thought creating motion, and this vibrational resonance emitting a color, sound, and intention to all universal knowledge, speaking the language of the stars. This is what has been revealed to us all. Pure creation, thought, intent, movement, resonance, color, sound, filling the galaxies with a purpose so profound, so sacred. The universe trembles with the orgasmic passion of conception. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling, a sacred song, the birth of new life.